Welcome back, and then make sure you're ready for the mess. Away all day. Naturally, it never goes to plan. Now I can start syringing. I've genuinely got no idea. Oh, I'm too fat. Lots to do. That's not very German, is it? Diff lock actuator, paper gasket. Excuse my whole jiggery pokery. Let's take that off because it's gross. Welcome back, everybody. So today's jobs I want to get done is I want to change all the diff oils on the car. Probably not been done for a while. So catch up on that bit of maintenance. Should be, in theory, quite an easy job. So let's get into it. First thing you're going to need is a 14mm hex bit. I have one, but it's often very tight in the fittings. So I have to see how I get on. And when you do this job, you always want to crack the fill port before you open the drain port, because if you drain it out and you can't fill it up, you're really in big problems. Okay, so even at this stage, put a drain bowl underneath, because you don't know if in the past it's been overfilled or if it was filled on like a slope. So you always want to make sure you put yourself in the best position. That's a good start. It's not too tight. Next up, just going to get to the drain port. Where is it? It's tucked in here on this one. And then make sure you're ready for the mess. Wow, that's tight. Yeah, tight. Will I make a mess? Okay. Colour of that's nothing to be concerned about, so I'm pretty happy with that. We'll let that drain out, and then it's as simple as put this plug back in the bottom and fill it back up. Okay, once you've pretty much got all of it out and it just turns to a drip or a very slow trickle, you can either wait all day or you can just put the plug back in and refill. So I'm happy with that. There's no concerns with the colour or anything. So put the plug back in. Okay, that should do. Don't over tighten that or strip the threads. Just nip it up by hand, should be fine. Quick spray of brake cleaner. With these, because they're so easily accessible, if you do have any issues with leaking or anything, you can simply just tighten up a little bit more by hand at any time. The access is so easy. So now we want to do fill it up in the fill hole until it spills out. So keep your drain bowl handy and then pop the fill plug back in. For this I'm using Liqui Moly 7590 GL5, and I've also got a Sealy oil syringe because I think the tank's too low for me to get a bottle in, so I will be syringing it in. Naturally it never goes to plan, so normally I just syringe the oil out of the bottle. However, I can't do that when it's got these lids on, so I'm going to have to try and pry these lids out. Oh, there we go, right. It's not too bad. Now I can start syringing. Pop it in the hole and start filling. Okay, back to the bottle. And we are filling until it spills out that hole. Okay, so now you can see it's running out of the diff. That's us done. Oh, empty the syringe out, pop the pipe back in the drain bowl, and then you're going to want to get that fill plug back in. Make sure it's clean, make sure you cleaned it off. Okay, screw that in then, and just nip that up with the ratchet. As I said, do them by hand. If you have any issues with leaking, you can always tighten them up later. But again, it's not a Land Rover, so I doubt they'll leak. There you have it, rear diff oil changed. I want to do the transfer case next, and then hopefully the front. Okay, so now I've pulled that drain bowl out. You can see that oil was pretty murky. I do need to check it for chips and metal, but I think it looks okay, to be honest. For the transfer case oils, you're going to want to make sure you've got GL4 oil. This one turns out to be GL4 and GL5, which if I had known, I would have just put this in everything, the diffs, the transfer case and everything. So it's GL5 for the diffs, GL4 for the transfer case, because it's safe to use with synchro rings and brass parts. Right then, team. So I've genuinely got no idea where the transfer case ports are. So we will climb underneath and try and locate them. Oh, I'm too fat. What am I getting stuck on? Right, time to start the journey under here. There's a transfer case. Let's try and shimmy over a little bit. Oh, are you joking? That looks like the fill port there. Can you see it on the camera? This one up here. And the drain is on the bottom. Yeah, that's definitely it. Crazy. What's strange is the drain port here is on like the higher part of the slope because it goes diagonally upwards. You'd think it'd be here. And then this drain, this fill socket, it's not very high. There's not much oil in this thing. Gonna have to do the transmission oil soon as well. Lots to do. Oh look. Not sure if this interests anybody, but here's the transmission linkage to the cabin. Really? That's how it is? What? That's not very German, is it? Come on. Again, like the diffs, you're going to want to try and remove the fill plug first. My tool is quite large. I'm going to have to get a new one of these because it's not very good for these jobs. I think I'm going to have to use it with an enormous extension bar through here. Yeah, that's in. Okay, just going to wipe off the excess dirt and stuff around there before we start. And I'm going to have to grab my drain bowl in case it leaks. See if we can crack that off. There is a crush washer on this. You should probably order a replacement. As per usual, I haven't, but I tend to get away with it on these things. So yeah, pull that out. Don't drop the plug in your drain bowl. That's what that looks like. Let's move over to the drain. That's that one done. Looks like I'm going to get messy no matter what happens with this. Colour's not too bad on that, pretty happy. A little bit of fur on the magnet, but it's not too bad at all. Okay, I'm just going to clean up this fill plug. Right then, time to refit that drain plug. Cleaned it all up. nice and shiny. And then we can start the filling procedure. I've already prepped those bottles to take the spouts out before I come back underneath, so hopefully it just cracks straight on. Okay, I'm just going to nip that up by hand, that's fine for me. Stuff that up there in the hole, and off we go again. Okay. Another one in. Surely this has got to be the last one. Okay, I reckon that's it there. Yep. Okay, stick that fill plug back in. Get the fill plug on the tool. Loads of extensions. Poke it miles and miles down the hole. There we go. Okay, nip that up with the ratchet. That'll do me. Last little job before we leave. Clean all this up. Make sure it's all dry so you can check for leaks later on. Okay, on to the next bit. So, before I do the front diff as well, I need to change the diff lock actuator paper gasket. So I'll get some new oil ordered, and then you'll join me probably pulling the diff lock actuator off, changing the gasket, and we'll get the oil changed. Okay then, boys and girls, so the next quest I've got to complete is I need to pull this diff lock actuator off and then change the gasket that sits between here and here, because it's been leaking. I've just cleaned it all off now, but it's been like drips of oil hanging off the bottom. So what I've been told is you have to mark this exactly where it sits. So I'm going to get a scoring line between the front part and the back part, which is on the axle tube, because this whole thing, if you look at the bolt holes, you can shift it left and right on the bolt holes. But in theory, you just undo these bolts, change the gasket, bolt it back on, job's done. So we'll give that a go. And then we need to mark it underneath. Just going to scratch it with a screwdriver. If you do it with a marker pen and you go to clean it off, then you risk just cleaning your marker pen line off. So I'm going to mark it twice, just in case I don't see it. This is the part number for this job, if you need to do it yourself. And let's see how it goes. I'm on my last set of gloves, so excuse the hole. Excuse my hole. All the bolts cracked then. Okay, bolt on a washer. On to the next one. Bolt on a washer, same length. Bolt on a washer, same length again. Now I've got no idea what to expect. I can actually see from the bolt hole position that this is slid fully left. It can't go any further left than where it is now. Ooh. There it is. Interesting. What I need to do is make sure I can get rid of that paper gasket. Oh, come on, yeah, come in one piece. Yes. Clean, boys, clean. Let's see if we can wipe that off. Wipe that out. Oh, jiggery pokery going on. Oh, come on. Don't be like this. Ew, gross. I'm gonna clean that up a bit more. Actually, I might use that second gasket, because I did forget to clean this back face off and contaminated that new gasket. Now, if you're doing a job yourself and you've got to use 2 gaskets, does it really matter? Because you're saving so much money on the repair. I did buy 2 just in case, because I know how these things go. Why don't I stick the bolts into the actuator with the gasket on, so that started straight away. Yes. Okay, let's get that last bolt started. Oh, what a dream. Okay. Get the socket and my manky glove. And then in a minute we'll have to line up the lines that I put on the bottom. Check my little alignment lines. Yeah, it was just completely to the left. It can't go any further across than that. And I'll just nip these bolts up. They weren't particularly tight. Manky glove, sorry, excuse that. I know how unsightly that must look. Nip that up. Nip that up. Just take that off because it's gross. It's even freaking me out on the camera screen. I will actually torque those up because it's got a new gasket and give it a sporting chance. Okay, so these are 25 Newton meters. I was pretty much spot on by hand. And that is how you change the gasket on the Diff lock actuator. Pretty easy job. Hopefully that's fixed now. Slowly but surely I'm making my way round. Okay then, this will be pretty much the same as the back. However, fill ports on the side, same as the back, but the drain port on this one is actually underneath in the centre. So let's see if we can get it all off and drain it out. Okay, can I get in here? No way. Okay, so that's a prime example of why you should make sure you get your fill plug opened first, because that tool will not go in there. So if I drained the bottom out, I would have got stuck. Damn it. I have to order one of those then. Okay, welcome back everyone. It's been a couple of days and it's violently raining outside, so I can't do the job from the other angle like I was doing before. However, in the meantime, the new socket has arrived. It's much shorter. Let's see if we can open this fill plug. It's a good start. What a poor design that is. The last idea I have is a 14mm socket on the actual hex of the tool. Oh, it's just enough. It's just enough. We're in. Drain bowl just in case. Oh, that's crazy. Now the tool is stuck on that arm. Oh, that's pretty poor design. At least the drain plug should be easy on this one. That's tight, man, that is really tight. Pretty dark that, coming out the front. So it's normally worse out the front, to be fair. And I believe it's only 1.4 litres in the front, so. Okay, that's pretty much stopped coming out. So pop the drain back in. Crank that up. And then we're going to want to fill it. And I'm hoping with this one we don't need to use the syringe, but we'll see what the access is like, I guess. Yes, so that's the bottle straight in on this one. No syringe needed. This entire bottle should go in easily, as it's 1.4 litres. First bottle in then. No, it's not full already, is it? Looks pretty full to me. Well, that was a quick job, wasn't it? Tool back in, get the spanner on. It's not ideal, but it does work. Bang that up tight like that. Last but not least, just got to clean up the whole area now. Okay then, there you have it then guys, that front diff, oil's all changed. I can't film a proper intro because the weather's so bad outside, it's pitch black, raining or windy. If you liked the video and you found it helpful, please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next one.